for our season 2 or episode 2 of not Coffee with Karan, but Coffee with RCBH and the families of RCBH. I'd like to introduce Mr. Jagdeesh Ramadugu, who wears many hats. Primarily one of a businessman, and a multiple serial entrepreneur in many ways. But to the family, he's known as one of the larger guardians of Sparsh. Anybody who needs to know more about Sparsh or has to engage on a regular basis, you'll find Jagdeesh there giving his time, his effort, and his expertise. To us today, he's going to take on and introduce and engage with our lawyer and friend, philosopher, and guide to all of us. So I hand it over to you, Jagdeesh, to share more details and also give us another perspective.
Thank you. Thank you, Uma. So first of all, I think it's a wonderful experience to host this podcast with Sudarshan. And I also say congrats to the organizers who have brought out this wonderful initiative. It not only helps our members to know each other, but also helps spread the information about our members to a larger audience. So with that, I have our Vakil Saab today evening joining us. So known as NBS or Nanduri Bharath Sudarshan. He is a man with 30 years of legal experience, and mind you, not some legal experience. He has been with the Supreme Court Bar Association since 2003, the Telangana High Court as a Bar Association member since 2014, and previous to that, Andhra Pradesh Bar Association. He is a man who handles multiple cases. He is a retainer. He is a panel advocate for very large organizations like NIRD, Hyderabad, SBI, even Coca-Cola company, and many other NBFCs and finance companies. He is a panel advocate. So it's my privilege, Sudarshanji, to meet you and to get to know more about you, or rather put you on the bench. It's not literally on the bench.
Thank you for the nice introduction, though.
Yeah. So I'll start with the easier questions.
Yes, please.
How often do you say objection, Your Honor?
Very seldom. Actually, what you hear or see in the movies or on the TV, objection, you cannot raise the objection just like that, because you have to maintain the decorum. If you say objection, so you have to ensure that that is not overruled. And you have to be very precise with your objection as to what it is. In the movies, they simply show the protagonist getting up, banging the table and saying, "Objection, my lords." It doesn't happen in Indian courts, nor does it happen anywhere else as well. So the objection has to be very cogent. It has to be very meaningful. Otherwise, judges take serious offense. That would be an intrusion in the proceedings. So that is what is taking place. So objection, as I said, cannot be used
not something
objectively.
Bandy about.
Yeah, you cannot objectively use it.
Wonderful. So we'll just look at a little bit about your personal journey, about how you became a lawyer. We're all curious to know what made you get into law. I know that you have done journalism before getting into law.
Yes.
So what was your career choice? How did you get into law in the first place?
To be very honest, as we all know, I would like to give a very circumlocutory answer to it. As we all know that India is a land of alayas, be it Devalaya, Chikitsalaya, Vidyalaya, and of course Nyayalayas also. So of late, Nyayalayas and the advocates, they haven't been doing very well. When I did my law, that is in 96, in those days, law was the last but one profession to be chosen. Though teaching is the noblest of the professions, but sorriest of the trades. So teaching was the last of the professions, and the second last was law. So everybody in my generation went after engineering, then MBBS, and thereafter MBA. And if anybody doesn't get any seats in any of those three categories, then the fourth would be law. But in my choice, in my case, I joined the profession out of choice, not out of compulsion. Actually, I stood seventh All India ranking in LLB entrance, and at the same time, I cracked the entrance examination of in All India in medical. IAMC, Indian Institute of Mass Communication. So that was the best in the Asia at that time. So I was given two choices, either to join law or the journalism. So I wanted to join journalism, but my father forced me to join law. So I had an inclination and aptitude towards law also. I said, okay, why not join it then? So that's how. Otherwise, my first love would have been journalism.
Wonderful. I mean, so journalism's loss and legal professions gain, I would suppose. So, 1996, you started your law practice. Do you remember your first day in court?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Actually, it was not the first day, but you may say the second day. So we 1996 batch had this internship to be done, mandatory internship. So I had the occasion of doing internship with Jitendra Sharma ji. He was the designated standing counsel for central government in Supreme Court. So I started my internship in Supreme Court. So he went out of station and he told me to seek an adjournment. So generally, the interns weren't allowed inside the court hall, so to say. So even if you go by flashing your I-card, you should only stand at the very back. So I was just waiting. I was asking the fellow advocates to seek an adjournment on my behalf. But as you know, Supreme Court is Supreme Court. Nobody works for free. Even adjournments are very expensive in Supreme Court. When I saw that nobody was helping me, I said, okay, let me give it a try. So it was, so I, with my black tie and a coat without the gown, I appeared in front of him and I sought an adjournment. He blasted me. He said, how dare you appear in front of me? You are an intern. Don't you know that interns can't appear? So that's how, I was blasted by him. But that hardened me, in fact. I loved it because I got lots of sympathies from the advocates around. They said, don't worry, you will be getting a lot of opportunities of representing here. So that's how. That was, honestly speaking, very shocking for me. But at the same time, it steeled my resolution as well to be a good advocate and represent in front of the same judge someday. But unfortunately, before I could represent before his court, he retired.
Lucky him.
Yeah, lucky me also.
Okay, so literally explored on the legal scene in Delhi. Wonderful. So, I know you were practicing in Delhi, but what made you move back to Hyderabad?
Actually, curious conspiracy of circumstances, you may say. My mother was suffering from renal failure, and my father was the regional director for the entire South Zone DAV schools. So actually, he was having the wherewithal, like servants, driver, etc. If at all my father had relocated to Delhi, then that would have been a massive hole in the pockets of both my father as well as I. So I took this conscious decision of shifting to Hyderabad because at least here there was a high court and a state commission. So I thought, okay, let's shift to Hyderabad. So it was basically from the stage of running, I came back to crawling. So anyway, God is always almighty. Now I'm doing good, I suppose.
Let's go back to the courtroom. I know you handle cases from as simple as a check bounce case to, I know you're on the panel for SBI, large scale, 100 crore plus insolvency case, etc. But what excites you most? What type of work personally excites you most?
Which is difficult in nature, because if it is easy, then every advocate can do it. So there is no fun in it. So I always go for the cases which are difficult, which are critical, and it requires, intellectually challenging kind of a thing. So I represented one matter in Karnataka High Court. It's a reported judgment. You can just Google search, you will be getting it. So I represented a person who was having a living-in relationship with a lady. So that lady filed a criminal complaint against him under Section 376. Everybody would be knowing what it is, rape. As well as she made her son also to file POXO case. So I got the complaint, so to say, quashed. So after this judgment, the parameters were set as to what would be defined as friendship, what would be defined as living as husband and wife, and what would be defined as living as consensual partners. So this was the precursor. So I could make, and it was, so I could get the quash order from him. So one of the highs of my life, you may say, career.
Wonderful. Such a landmark judgment. I hope
Yeah.
none of us need your expertise on that area. Okay. So going back, I mean, many of our understanding or experience in law is from watching Jolly LLB or the odd episode of Suits Harvey Specter. Does it happen like that in real court? Just go and get justice within a day?
Doesn't happen, unfortunately. My friend was here, he was just harping upon that. So he was venting his ire upon me as if I was the judge and I did not give him the judgment. So it get, I mean, it does get delayed sometimes in Indian courts.
Yeah.
And you have to appreciate that the system was given to us from the colonial past. So it has its own defects, and that's the reason why we have amendments in laws. So amendments are taking place. It's a relentless and a perennial process, and definitely one fine day we'll see that with the click of the hand we may get judgments, but it doesn't happen.
Wonderful. So no instant justice effort yet.
Can't be.
I personally know, and I met you 20 years back when
Yeah.
you were handling our
Coke matter.
Coke matter, and I think you helped make sure we didn't land in the inappropriate places. So thank you for that. But going forward, if you look at the way the legal system is evolving, you see a lot of online court hearings.
Yes.
We are hearing about artificial intelligence replacing junior lawyers, preparing case material, arguments, and a whole set of developments that are happening on the tech space in the legal. What do you see this future evolving? Is it something that is
Again,
there right now, or going to take some more time?
No, actually, it's like a circle. If you see, right from 1930s till 1980s, legal profession was seen with a lot of respect, because all the legal luminaries you see, they were all having national standings. So they had a lot of respect because they were indeed taking care of the interest of the clients. So gradually, when the things started falling down, and again, as I said, the era of 90s and 2000, you may say, the legal profession wasn't that good, either through the point of view of generating money or through the point of view of integrity. But now it is changing now. As we all know, change is the unchanging law of nature. Now the change is taking place. Now people are taking law by choice. The best example is his daughter. She has taken law by choice. So now there are so many avenues. You can explore into corporate world, you can explore into civil, criminal. So there are so many avenues for the youngsters now. And they are really taking law as a profession. So we may definitely see quality advocates coming in the coming decade, so to say.
What would your advice be to aspiring lawyers or interns or aspiring law students?
I would say the AI should be used the minimal. What is happening? AI is becoming a handicap. So I am having 10 juniors with me, and the very resume I go through, I can easily make out whether it is their own contribution or is it AI's contribution. It is 80% is AI. So if I tell them, okay, you give me a plaint drafted by way of writing, they are not able to do it, though they have put in 2 or 3 years of practice. But the same drafting, if I give them, okay, you draft a suit for recovery, with the aid of AI, they are giving me an excellent suit. So what is happening is, it is rendering them quote unquote impotent insofar as advocacy is concerned, using too much of AI. They are not challenging their intellectual faculties at all. So AI is a bane, not a boon, as far as law profession is concerned.
Going back to law as a profession, I heard a legal luminary once say, if two poor people fight, justice will win. If a rich and a poor fight, the rich will win. If two rich people fight, judicial system will win. So, would you say this is what really happens? I mean, is there justice for the common man at all, or it's completely driven by who is able to put more resources and who can manage the system better?
Look, it's a question, I would say, a cliché question often posed. Okay. But one thing is there, that every rule is having an exception. I would like to harp upon the rule. The rule is that justice is definitely doled out to the people who are seeking it. In exceptional cases, yes, it is delayed, and in certain other exceptional cases, it is denied also. But it is, general rule is, people still have faith in the judicial system. That is the reason why everybody knocks the doors of the courts if they are having any grievance.
India has the largest number of legal cases pendency. Does the law system ever think about how to resolve this problem? Is more judges the answer, or what is the answer to this?
To begin with, the population is the biggest issue. If you compare it, say, with the Western world, they are having one judge for, say, US, we'll take. Circuit courts are there, county courts are there, and then they have their own high courts, and every state is having its own Supreme Court out there. So there, every judge can man, say, around 20,000 people. Whereas in India, every district court has to look after nearly 5 crores. That is what is happening in a given situation. So even if you increase the number of judges, or even if you, increase the number of advocates, the cases cannot be decided in a hurry, because of the population is a big issue. And judges also, they have been asking their tenures to be increased to 70 years. If at all that happens, maybe we can see the frequency can come down. That's the only thing.
Bharath, I know you are part of the legal system, 30 years in. You're defending the legal system as it is.
Obviously, I have to.
But if I were to challenge, or if you were to challenge yourself on saying, what is the two things that must change radically? What would be advice to the policymakers, the judicial system at large? And at least whatever you can say on camera.
Increase the salary of the judges. Increase the salary of the judges and give them more powers. Unfortunately, judges do not have those many powers even now, because there is administrative interference and there is another interference. What is it? Legislative interference. So long as administrative and legislative interferences are there, then judiciary cannot act. So the judges should be given more power, and at the same time, they should be given more salaries as well. Whatever the judge, whatever a sub-judge or a district judge, a sessions judge, or a high court judge, or a Supreme Court judge gets, is very less in comparison to whatever the cases he decides.
Scale of impact of the cases.
Increase the salary. There is a saying, if your stomach is full, you won't be craving for more, quote unquote.
There's some interesting responses from the audience on that, but let's take his word. I think we'll move ahead. Moving on from legal to your own personal life, and I think not too many people may be knowing, but you've been a Rotarian since 2005, if I'm right.
Yes, yes.
And you joined Rotary Club of BanjaraHills in 2019.
Yes, please.
So, what do you think? I mean, what do you think about the arguments that you see on what service project to do, etc.? The Rotary arguments versus what you face in the court, which are more tenuous?
I mean, insofar as tenability is concerned, I think Rotary arguments are more tenable. At least they yield more results.
Okay.
So I fully agree that the discussion is always healthy, and even if you agree to disagree, there is a lot of decency in it. Decorum is maintained. We have seen today also. So that way, I mean, the arguments I would not say arguments, but discussion in Rotary is much better than what you get to see in the courts.
You have two teenage, early 20s boys. Neither of them are in the legal profession.
No, they have.
Did you have anything to do with that?
No, no, no. Actually, I literally pleaded with them that they should join the profession, but they've chosen otherwise. I can't help it. It's a personal loss and gain to my juniors, whoever would be around, say in the coming 10 to 15
you didn't
years.
threaten them with any sections?
So
No, you couldn't.
they are major.
Major.
They are major in age. So
Wonderful.
they are major.
So what happens in your dining table? Do people cross-examine you, or you cross-examine them when you're having dinner at home?
It is out of the question altogether. Cross-examination doesn't take place at all. So
Only verdicts.
So that is what it is.
Wonderful. Okay. So I think we have covered quite a lot of topics. I have a few rapid round questions to ask of you.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So you just need to take a second to answer.
Yeah, yeah.
If your life was a movie, what would the title be?
What would?
The title of the movie be?
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going, Sudarshan. Yeah. Who would you prefer to cross-examine? An opposing legal counsel or a teenager violating a crime?
Opposing legal counsel.
Why would that be?
Because he would be knowing most of the questions which I would be posing.
Okay.
So it becomes easier for me also.
Match fixing, rather. So, do you like to have a tea or coffee before a big case?
I would go for a buttermilk.
Okay.
It will keep me cool.
Interesting answer. What about after winning a case? Whiskey or vodka?
I'm a teetotaler.
So, none of them. Water. Okay. Interesting. So, would you prefer argument in the Supreme Court or arguments in the family court? I mean, the home court.
Argument in the Supreme Court because I'd be getting fees.
Okay. Wonderful. I think that's so. Not only is our so yeah. So I think thank you for being part of this, and I think we heard not only a lot of wisdom from his legal experience, but also some very interesting remarks. And thank you for your sense of humor. Thank you, everyone.
I loved it. Thank you very much. I loved it.
Audience questions.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Why not? I think.
See one observation.